Hello,
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for asking. And what about you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, how is the weather over there?
Oh, don't ask me. It's pouring outside.
Okay, I can imagine.
Yes,
Okay,
and I'm afraid that maybe we will face a power cut. So I'm hoping that we will not have to face until we finish our conversation.
okay, good deal. And all right, well, you are in Delhi, right?
No, I'm not from Delhi. I'm living in Mumbai, right?
Okay, I don't know why I thought Delhi, but I'm sure it's still pretty hot
I
in
think I
Mumbai.
think
Yeah,
you know only about capital of India. That is why.
maybe so. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, Philip. So, I would like to know a little bit about you for me and for my audience. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
yeah, sure. My name is Philip, and I was born in the United States. I spent time in Mexico, so I grew up speaking Spanish and English. So I guess you can say I'm part Mexican, part American. I live in the Caribbean region right now, in the city of Santo Domingo, and this is a Spanish-speaking area. And I'm thankful being here that I do know Spanish, but I am an online English teacher, and it's a fun job, so it gets me by for now. And anyway, that's me. I think that you should, for those that don't know you very well yet, I think you should introduce yourself.
Ye- Yes, yes, that is fine. That is fine. And you know Spanish as well. That is good to know. I mean, English, Spanish. How many other more languages do you know?
I don't know any more languages. I am studying French. I wish I
Oh,
knew Hindi. I do not. And by the way, how many languages do you know?
I think I know three languages: Hindi, English, and my regional language where I born. So yeah.
What is that? What language is that?
It is called Chhattisgarhi. The state name is Chhattisgarh, which is my hometown, and the language is Chhattisgarhi. So it is quite
And can
rich.
you? Okay, so that sounds fascinating. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your background?
Okay, so as you know, my name is Megha, and
Okay.
by profession, I'm a teacher. But currently, I have taken leave, and I'm doing different jobs as well, like posting videos on YouTube. And apart from that, as my hometown, so Chhattisgarh is my hometown, and currently I'm living in Mumbai.
Okay, then, uh,
Yeah.
so you speak three languages. Oh, by the way, let me just check one thing with you. Teacher, what do you teach?
Uh, it is not specific because I teach in primary school, small children,
Okay,
so class
like
first to class fifth. So I teach every
first grade,
subject. Yeah, first
first
grade
grade
to
and fifth
fifth
grade.
grade. No, first grade to fifth grade.
So that's a lot of different grades that you teach at one time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes. So I
So
teach every subject.
you, you have to be an expert at math, at science, at geography, and at languages as well, right?
Yes, but I feel that when you teach in primary school, so it's okay. I mean, you don't need to know a lot of things, but basic
Okay.
things,
I'm
and
sure you
that
do
much
very
I,
well. Yeah.
and that is good part. That much I know. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And well, Megha, can I ask you some things about the languages of India? Maybe you can clarify something for me. Okay.
I will try. I will try.
I thought you would be the right person to ask. Now, I'm looking at a list right here that gives me the top 20 languages in the world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, English being the international language is number one, Mandarin Chinese is number two, Hindi is number 3. You have a lot of people in India, but you guys in India are not satisfied in that with just one language in the top 10. You have 2. You have Bengali, which is number 7. And so 2 of the top 10 languages in the world are native to India. And as if that wasn't enough, languages 11 through 20 includes 5 languages from India. I mean, we have Urdu,
Hmm?
number, number 11, Marathi, number 15, number 16, Telugu, number 17, Punjabi, number 19, Tamil. So those are official languages in India. I mean, it's not just a small group of immigrants that speak them, that's a large group of people that speak them. And
Exactly.
so that's ridiculous. I mean, it makes other countries sound kind of boring to say, okay, I have one official language. Most countries in the world have one.
Exactly.
And here, India has a whole bunch of official languages. And in fact, 7 of the top 20 languages in the world are official languages spoken by a whole bunch of people in India. Okay,
Yes, yes. Oh,
you
this
take it from here. I don't know where to go from here because it sounds so confusing for me.
yeah.
So how do you explain that? I mean, I think that that's good in some ways. I think that's something very unique about India. It makes me want to go visit, but it's just
That,
something that I don't know how to explain that. So
yeah,
how do you explain?
there would be a kind of hustle for you when you think that you should come to India in order to know languages. So in this perspective only you can find a bit, problematic in this system. But yes, it is true that Hindi is the most spoken language in India.
Okay,
And apart from that, there are 22 official languages in our constitution. And you will be surprised to know that Hindi, along with English, these two languages are being used by our administration, central administration. So not only Hindi, not
okay,
only Punjabi, not only other 22 language, but including your language, we have.
okay.
I mean, in this term, India is a diverse country. So having languages, and you are right that you will be stunned to know that India is a union of different many linguistic states, all right? And every state has their own language and they follow the same language. It is not like that India is a country and you are bound to use Hindi or English. No, you have that liberty that you can use those language, you can follow, you can practice your language, you can practice your culture. So these freedom we got from our constitution, so we are so proud of this. And yes, like uh, I think this is a significant thing for us that we are following so many languages. And
So many so many groups of people, so many cultures. But what do you do? Let's say if you go to the area that speaks Bengali, all right,
mhm.
and what do you do? Do people understand you, or how do you manage?
So this is the beauty that you are living while living in India. You
Okay,
are you have exposed to several languages. So maybe you are not able to speak, but somehow you can understand others' language like Bengali, Punjabi, Sindhi, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. So these are very well known for us. It is not like something very strange. So we can understand. The problem is that we cannot speak because every language takes effort to learn, right? And I think
yes.
Hindi, I could say Hindi is a language which connect us together because most
Okay.
of the people of India know Hindi. So
So
this is how we can communicate.
if you go to where they speak Bengali, if you go to what is it, the southwest of India or someplace like that, and are you going to find people who cannot understand you and whom you cannot understand at all?
Yeah, it happens. I guess I never been in southern part of India, but
Okay.
southern part of India is known for their exceptional language. So Tamil,
Okay.
Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. These are their major languages. I am not sure that you can recall or you can remember these names, but yes,
Okay.
they follow these languages, and Hindi is less known in these part of India. So
And
yeah,
do the children in that part of India, okay, where they speak other languages that you don't know, do they still get taught Hindi at school?
no, it's not like that. So,
Okay.
like I have mentioned, that every state has liberty to follow their own language and school in administration. So they can practice their own language. But as I have said to you, that Hindi is something most of the people use, apart from southern people from the southern part of India.
Okay.
So if we
You know,
face
Megha, go ahead.
Yes, if we
Yeah.
face a kind of problem, so I think English is the another language they know very well. So
Okay.
through English we can communicate with them. But
I would.
I have said that we can understand their language. Yes.
All this makes me want to go to India. I mean, all this is very confusing to me, but it makes me want to go and look at the culture, observe the people, and see how they communicate, and just to be able to be part of what goes on over there. And as an observer, I will be confused as can be, but I will be, but
Because
I
there is,
think it would be a
I
lot of
think,
fun to watch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think if you know Hindi a little bit, so you can survive in India.
Hmm.
So no need to worry about
Okay.
that.
I'd like to learn. I'd like to learn Hindi also, but I don't know that I'll have the time because I'm sure it's very difficult. But I think it would be great to learn. But another thing that I really wish you could clarify, I made a note here about
Mhm.
the northeast part of India. Okay, the north, as far as I know, the northeast part of India is really not that well populated compared to Mumbai, compared to Delhi, but
Yes.
somehow they think they need a lot of languages. In this relatively small area, they
Mhm.
have 220 languages.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, I'm at a loss for words for that one. How is that possible? That
It
this small area, okay, as if it wasn't confusing enough, okay, that you have all the other languages in the rest of India, what, 30 official languages. Now the
Mhm.
northeast of India, which I do believe is a different culture, different climate, and all that, they have 220 languages. I think they would get lost among themselves fairly easy. So, what's going on over there?
I think it's so obvious. Like I have mentioned that India is a diverse country in terms of having different community, different religion. Okay, and
Okay,
one another thing that you might know, I don't know. I mean, that India has the world fourth highest number of languages. Okay, and the count is 447. Okay,
okay,
447 across the India, and you're talking about 200 and something like that, which is only
okay,
spoken in northeastern part, right?
right,
So, so yes, you're right that people are, if I compare that southern part of India or western or
mm,
northern part, so eastern part of people are less in population, but like
okay,
diversity, the language, the dialects they have a variety of dialects because
okay,
they belongs to different several linguistic families, and they follow different languages. So because of that, maybe you find these things, and even let me tell you that I haven't been there as well. So I cannot
okay.
tell you more things, but yes, Sikkim, I have been there, and Sikkim is one of the state of this part. Okay,
Okay.
and Sikkim is so close to Nepal. So Nepali language is the regional language of this state. Nepal. I think you have
I
heard about Nepal.
Yes, I've heard about Nepal and their language. Yes,
Yes.
and it makes me think, Megha, that there's no other country in the world with that type of linguistic diversity. I don't think that anything like that exists. And I know that there's some countries where there'll be a great number of languages, relatively speaking, but I don't think anything compares to India. I
I
mean, I think
I
it's
think
amazing.
I
and,
would
and
like
and that's
to,
why I want to go visit out to see what happens. I mean, I want to see that in action. I want to see people communicate with one another, and when I'm over there, and so I'd love to go visit and see what it's like.
but I would like to share my perspective on it. I mean, I would like to differ with you because every country has their own diversity in terms of having several things like US. You are living in US,
Mhm.
and US itself there are not like us, but I think you also have 10 or more than 10 languages. But yes, it is not that complicated, I could say.
Oh, it's
So
yes, India is very unique in that sense, and I think there's so many languages, which indicates to me many cultures and just a great variety of people.
yes,
And so I think there's something fascinating about that. It's fascinating.
it's,
I just, of the seven languages that I mentioned that are in the top 20 in the world, okay, that come from India, I think, I don't think there's one person that's going to know all seven because it would be so complicated, let alone a whole bunch of the other languages. So I think there'll be, if you are from India, it just seems to me you will always be running into people who don't understand you and whom you don't understand, right? I mean, at least a little bit.
no, I think you are, I could say you are exaggerating things because you are not ever been there. It is not that
Okay.
complicated. It is not that complicated. Even we celebrate this diversity, this uniqueness that having a lot of language, and even though we can communicate easily with people, and it is true that you will like to know that in every 5 kilometers in India, language is changed. Okay, in
Uh,
every 5 kilometer in India, and
okay.
even though we have lots of languages, lots of dialects,
Okay.
um, there is no single Indian language, okay, which is spoken across its length and breadth. Okay, so this is
Right.
the thing that makes India unique. You could say
Yeah.
beautiful, and
Yes.
like
Well,
yes,
another question I have, if I go to India and I speak English, which is the only language of India that I would speak, all right, so if I speak English, can I make myself understood with the people in most of the country? Can I find people to talk to that would understand me in, let's say, in Mumbai, Delhi, and even in the southern part of India?
yes. Like I have mentioned, that English is also a very significant language for us. It is
Okay.
one of the official languages in India. So I don't think so you will find any trouble, any kind of trouble. People can understand easily, and because India is also known for its tourism. So
Oh,
so
I
people,
feel better. I feel better now. I feel better. I
yes,
think,
yes. So
I mean,
you don't have
I,
to worry about that.
this whole cultural variety thing is just amazing and fascinating, but it's good to know I will be able to communicate with people and that I
You
won't be
will,
quite so alone. Now,
you will.
another thing, okay, another thing I was wondering, of course, all this cultural variety also means culinary variety, right? A
Mhm,
lot of different dishes, different types of cooking.
mhm,
And I remember I had a friend from India that I met when I was in Virginia, in the United States, many years ago. So we were eating some chicken, right? So some old lady made us some chicken, and he said, this is very good, but it's not like in India. And he says, in India, the spices go not just outside the chicken, but inside the chicken.
Yes.
And that has been a strange thing for me to imagine. Okay, how do you put spices inside the chicken? Now, that must be your area as well. So, what can, I mean, I don't know where he was from in India and what specific region he was talking about as to how they make their chicken. But
Mm-hmm.
he made it sound like, okay, this is good. What you guys do in the United States is good, but you should try Indian chicken, right? Now
Hmm.
that's special. Now, so how special is your chicken, and how can you get spices inside the chicken? I still can't figure that out.
Okay, so let me tell you that I'm pure vegetarian. So
Only chicken.
I
Okay,
can't tell you exactly how they make this kind of chicken, but yes, as an Indian, we love spices. Without spices, we can't imagine our vegetable, we can't imagine our cuisine, we can't imagine our food. So this is a kind of you could say specialization of India. But yes, many people from outside of India or foreign people, they find it is a kind of trouble for them because they are not used to eat such spices.
right.
And like um, in terms of having languages, India is diverse country that is well known for you. But in terms of having plants and spices, this is also a significant thing in India. So this is why we are so obsessed with spices. And when they cook chicken, so I
Mhm.
don't know, but I have seen they just put inside, they just cut the chicken, they put inside all the spices, and then they cook, and then they put in that chicken in gravy, so people
Okay.
can have the real taste of spices. So they don't
Okay.
eat chicken, they eat spices. So when you come to India, you have to eat spices, not chicken.
And so it's more. It's like a bowl of spice that happens to have some chicken inside of it. Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good. You know why that sounds good to me is because I spent many years in Mexico, and Mexicans like real spicy stuff. So I think I would love the Indian cuisine, and this,
Yeah.
yeah. So another reason to go to India is for the food, and I'm like I said, I don't know if I can go, but I would love to if I get the opportunity.
I
And
think
I,
you must come at least once for
yeah,
once, so that you can sense the diversity of India in every perspective, in every term. So you can understand in better way. And I think most of the people from US and other foreign countries, they at least they visit for once. I don't know why you haven't visited so far, but I would like to tell you that please visit once.
I would love to. Now, you know what the problem is, and the reason why I haven't is probably the same reason why you haven't visited. Have you been to the United States?
Yes, 28 states.
No, have you been? You've been to the United States?
No, no,
Have
no,
you
sorry,
traveled?
sorry. Sorry, sorry. I
Okay,
misunderstood you. No, no, I ever been,
okay.
never ever been there.
Well,
Yeah.
I was
I
going to
have
say
just heard.
maybe the same reason you haven't been to the United States is probably the same reason I have not been to India. It's because it is kind of expensive to travel that far, right? So if I'm going to go to India, I need to
Mhm.
make sure I have enough money, that I have the budget for that. And but if I ever get enough capital and
No,
enough
don't.
time,
I don't think so. I mean, this
mhm,
is a bit funny. I mean, you shouldn't say like this because of your dollar, our currency is decreasing and decreasing. The value is
well,
decreasing. So don't say that it's so expensive for you. It is not that expensive. But for us to visit US is so
okay.
expensive.
Very expensive. I imagine so. But I'll have to wait for the right time, but I really hope I can go. I think it would
Yes.
be wonderful. And to try the Indian cuisine, to observe the Indian culture, to see some of the things over there. So I think that it would be a real blessing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Right. So that would be wonderful. And you'll have to recommend for me what to do, where to go, and what kind of food to try and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So,
Sure.
okay.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. So that, that's a tentative plan for the future.
mm-hmm.
And by the way, Mumbai, how does it compare to Delhi?
Mumbai is situated around sea area, so it is kind of, we have a tropical weather, humidity, and heat. And Delhi is a state where you can get exposure of every weather. Too much cold, too much hotness, too much rain.
Oh,
Everything is too much over there. But apart from that, it is also a beautiful and historical city. So it is also a capital of India. So I think
oh,
you shouldn't miss Delhi as well. But Mumbai is well-known city. Mumbai is a dream city. People you call Mumbai as a dream city. So I think you shouldn't miss both these cities, I
well,
guess.
how many people are in Mumbai,
Sorry.
approximately? How many people? Like, what's the population of Mumbai?
I'm not sure about figure, but I'm
Okay,
sure
but
that
it's not
it's huge.
not as big as Delhi, though, right?
Yes,
Because
no, it is more populated than Delhi because it's a, I mean, uh, people from different state always come to Mumbai just to have more exposure in terms of having career, in terms of getting more money. Bollywood is also famous, so people
okay,
come here to become actress, actor. So that is why it is called a dream city.
okay. Well, I have to see it then. Now I think I have to see it, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Delhi, Mumbai, and I'll have to think of other places to go to as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah. I think we should keep continue this kind of conversation, but for now, I think we should wrap up it here.
Okay. Well, it's been good to talk to you, Megha, and you've got me very interested in your country.
Same here, same here. Thank you so much. It was really intriguing conversation, and I would love to share more information to you, and I would like to know some more information about your country, about your experience and things, other
Okay,
things.
that would be great. That would be a great conversation. So I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, sure, sure. Bye bye. Take
Okay.
care.
All right. Bye bye now.
Bye bye.